Hello, welcome back to the reading of the poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 1, Chapter 31, Part 1, Zacharias' Visit. 8th June 1944. I see the big room where I have already seen the meeting of the Magi with Jesus and their adoration. I understand that I am in the hospitable house where the Holy Family has been received. And I see Zacharias' arrival. Elizabeth is not there. The landlady runs out into the lobby to meet the arriving guest, and she shows him to a door. She knocks and then withdraws discreetly. Joseph opens the door, and he utters a cry of joy when he sees Zacharias. He takes him into a little room, as small as a corridor. Mary is suckling the child. She will not be long. Sit down. You must be tired. And he makes room for his guest on his couch and sits beside him. I hear Joseph asking after little John, and Zacharias replies, "He is growing as strong as a little colt. But he is teething now, and he is suffering a little. That is why we did not want to bring him. It is very cold, and that is why Elizabeth did not come either. She could not leave him without milk. She was very upset. But the season is so rigorous." "It is rigorous indeed," replies Joseph. "The man you sent me told me that you were homeless when he was born. You must have suffered a lot." "Yes, quite a lot, but our fears were greater than our discomfort. We were afraid that the child's health might be injured, and we had to stay there for the first few days. We lacked for nothing. For ourselves, because the shepherds gave the good news to the people of Bethlehem, and many of them brought us gifts. But we had no house, not even a decent room, a bed, and Jesus cried so much, particularly at night, because the wind was blowing in from all directions. I used to light a little fire, only a little one, because the smoke made Jesus cough, and it was still cold in any case. 2 animals do not give out much heat, especially when the cold air comes in from all directions. We had no warm water to wash him, nor dry clothes to change him. Yes, he suffered quite a lot, and Mary suffered seeing him suffer. I suffered, so you can imagine his mother's anguish. She fed him with milk and tears, milk and love. Now here it is much better. I had made for him such a comfortable cradle, and Mary had fitted it with such a soft little mattress. But it is in Nazareth. Ah, if he were born there, it would have been different. But Christ was to be born in Bethlehem. It was prophesied. Mary comes in. She heard their voices. She is all dressed in white wool. She has taken off the dark dress she was wearing during the journey and in the grotto, and she is all white, as I have seen her dressed before. She is not wearing anything on her head, and she is holding Jesus in her arms. He is sleeping, sated with milk, in his pure white swaddling clothes. Zacharias stands up reverently and bows down in veneration. He then goes nearer and looks at Jesus with the greatest respect. He bends down, not so much to see him better as to pay him homage. Mary offers the child to him, and Zacharias takes him with such adoration that he seems to be holding up a monstrance. It is, in fact, the host that he takes in his hands, the host already offered, and that will be sacrificed after being given to men as a nourishment of love and redemption. Zacharias hands Jesus back to Mary. They all sit down, and Zacharias explains once again to Mary the reason why Elizabeth has not come and how upset she was. "During the past months, she has prepared some linens for your blessed son. I have brought them to you. They are downstairs in the wagon." He rises and goes out, then comes back with a large parcel and a smaller one. Joseph relieves him of the heavier one, and Zacharias starts pulling his gifts from both of them. a soft hand-woven woolen blanket, some linens and little dresses. Then, from the other one, some honey, some snow-white flour, butter, apples for Mary, and cakes baked by Elizabeth, and many more little things, which are a token of the motherly love of the grateful cousin for the young mother. Please tell Elizabeth that I am very grateful to her, as I am grateful to you too. I would have been so happy to see her, but I understand the situation, and I would have also loved to see little John. But you will see him in spring. We will come and see you. Nazareth is too far away, remarks Joseph. Nazareth? But you must stay here. The Messiah must grow up in Bethlehem. It is David's town. The Most High, through Caesar's will, brought him to the town in David's land, the Holy Land of Judea. Why take him to Nazareth? You know in what opinion the Jews hold the Nazarenes. This child is to be in future years the Savior of his people. The capital town must not scorn its king because he comes from a despised land. You know as well as I do how captious the Sanhedrin is and how disdainful its three main castes are. And then, here, near me, I will be able to help you somehow and put everything I have, not so much in the way of material things, but of moral gifts, at the service of this newborn baby. And when he is old enough to understand, I will be very happy to be his teacher, as I will be for my own son, so that later, when he grows up, he will bless me. We must consider that he is destined for great things, and consequently, he must be in a position to present himself to the world with all the necessary means to win his game. He will certainly possess wisdom, but also the simple fact that he was educated by a priest will make him more agreeable to the difficult Pharisees and scribes, and will render his mission easier. Mary looks at Joseph, and Joseph looks at Mary. Above the rosy, innocent head of the child, sleeping, unaware of it all, there is a silent exchange of questions, and they are questions full of sadness. Mary is thinking of her little house. Joseph is concerned about his work. Here, where only a few days ago they were completely unknown, they must start from scratch. Here they have none of the dear things they left at home, and which they had prepared with so much love for the child. And Mary says so. How can we do that? We have left everything there. Joseph had worked so hard for my Jesus, without sparing labor or money. He worked at night, so that during the day he could work for other people and thus earn enough to buy the best wood, the softest wool, the finest linen, and prepare everything for Jesus. He built beehives, and he even worked as a mason to make certain modifications in the house, so that the cradle could be placed in my room and remain there until Jesus had grown up, and the cradle could then be replaced by a bed, because Jesus will stay with me until he is an adolescent. Joseph can go and get what you left there. And where will we put it? You know, Zacharias, that we are poor. We have only our work and our home, and they both enable us to live without starving. But here, perhaps we will find some work, but we will always have the problem of a house. This good woman cannot give us hospitality forever, and I cannot sacrifice Joseph more than he has already sacrificed himself for my sake. Oh, me! It's nothing for me. I am concerned with Mary's grief, her grief in not living in her own house. 2 big tears well from Mary's eyes. I think that house must be as dear to her as paradise, because of the mystery which was accomplished in it. I speak little, but I understand a lot. If it wasn't for that, I would not be upset. I will work twice as much, that's all. I am young and strong enough to work twice as much as I used to, and see to everything. And if Mary does not suffer too much, and if you say that we must do so, well, here I am. I will do whatever you think is best, provided that it will help Jesus. This has been a reading from The Poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 1, Chapter 31, Part 1 of Zacharias' Visit. Thank you for listening. I'll see you tomorrow. May God bless you and may peace be with you.